When I was 16 years old, I caught a statutory rape case. 15-year-old girl, oral sex. In the state I lived in, that was statutory rape. Now, I didn't get charged until I was over the age of consent. I didn't get taken to court until I was about 18. And then I kind of took off for a little while because it didn't seem like a big deal. And when I got caught up for a fugitive from justice warrant, I was in my 20s. And these people went, the girl was 15 and you're in your 20s. What, you like kids? And I went, no. This happened when I was 16. Look at the date of the offense. However, in the state that I lived in, you had to do what was called a plethysmograph. And I'm betting you don't know what a plethysmograph is. But it's a small cigar band kind of thing that they throw on your junk to see if you get aroused by something or not get aroused by something. By the way, this has been deemed cruel and unusual punishment, and it's no longer allowed in any of the 50 states of the United States of America. But it didn't used to be, not allowed. So they made me throw this thing on my junk and sit in a room, and they showed me images of naked women and people having sex and this kind of thing. And then I saw a couple of those pictures too of things that I'll never be able to unsee. And as it turns out, the test was over and they said, you're normal as hell, right? No problem. You're a very normal guy. And then you know what happened? It was kind of a pisser. Then what happened is they said, hey, the guy that administered that test lied about where he went to college. What's that got to do with me? Well, see, he said he went to a university, but he went to a state college. So I had to go do the test again.
Let's do some cooking.
It is crazy. It is crazy. I passed the test twice. Unfortunately, I have something that is very often thought to not be real, right? You can look it up. But it is, it's the inability to forget certain things, right? It's a memory that literally carries shit with you for the rest of your life, right? It's called hyperthemsia. And there are people who believe it doesn't exist. You can read all about it if you'd like. Yeah, you know what, Alison Metcalf Palumbo? Here's the thing. Alison Metcalf Palumbo makes a great point. Sounds like a lawsuit to me. Well, it should. Here's the problem. I was guilty. I did it. I did it. You can't defend yourself. I did it. I was with a girl. The girl was 15 and I was 16. Right? We didn't have sex, but we screwed around. Right? Her dad found the diary. I ended up in court. There's nothing I could do about this. It's in my past, and it is what it is. There are images I sure as hell would like to be able to unsee, but we don't unsee images, especially if something is going on that's tickling parts of your brain to make you remember things. And what I mean by that is we're hardwired to make sure that we don't kill ourselves, right? If you hear a train go by and it makes that horn and the wind, the first time that happens to you, your brain is going to put that into a place where the next time it hears anything like that, they go, train, and you stop immediately in your tracks. We remember more traumatic things, and we remember them so much more vividly because our brain thinks we have to. So those things are tough. Admiral, you helped me get through the night, through the last few weeks. Remember that when you want to beat yourself up. Thank you. Deeming, thank you. You know something, people? Maybe I should, I don't talk about this. I don't want pity on this. I don't. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Really, honestly, I'm not trying to get raw, people, but we'll do it this way. I got a blowjob. Sorry. There you go. All right, 16, 15. It happened during school. If I had been a stand-up cat, I wouldn't have been doing what I was doing. It's pretty messed up, but it is what it is. And here's the good thing. I'm no registered offender or any of that. I mean, the courts looked at it and went, in any other state in the union, it wouldn't have even been a crime. So I don't register. There's none of that. I'm not you'll hear that. People like making videos about it, but I'm not an offender. I'm none of that shit. Doesn't mean it wasn't tough, but it hasn't scarred me. It doesn't even come up unless somebody says something like that. It came up today for a couple of reasons. It came up today because